Yeah, my name's Casey Turner. I was a skate park owner operator from the years of 2001 to 2004 here in Bad Axe, Michigan. It was something to see. I mean, when we started, there was maybe a handful of skaters in the whole county. And at the end of the 3 years, I would have 100 kids pretty much weekly, different kids coming through the door at the indoor skate park that I was running. It was phenomenal. It was incredible. And it also like increased bikers, scooter kids, inline skaters were a huge population. So it just grew, exponentially. Every year it just kept growing and growing like a snowball. It was pretty cool. I would guess somewhere around 500 kids would have been on the books, having come through and signed a waiver to skate at some point in time. Some would be from out of the county, but I'd have people come in an hour and a half, sometimes 2 hours away to come up here and skate. A lot of people come up to this county because they have vacation homes and they're used to just having a skate park right there. And then when they come up here, they're like, where's my kid gonna skate, So yeah, it was, I'd get a large summer crowd of people coming up, that were interested in that. But I'd say on the books, probably 500 kids, but all in all, I'd say there's probably 100 kids that were pretty into it, Okay, so Ethel Greibel had a son that I believe got into some trouble, and he liked skating. And so she really, really, really wanted to open up a skate park for kids to have something positive to do. She met up with a guy named Darren Myasek who could build ramps. He was from Florida and skated growing up. And then those two together built a really massive 6-foot, 24-foot long, awesome half pipe. They built a little mini, started building a bowl. They built a wall ride, a 13-foot wall ride. They just built some cool stuff in a space not far from here. And I started taking students to that location to skate. And it lasted, I want to say like 6 months to a year. I was a youth director at a youth center, and I would bring kids over here to skate every week. And so I started bringing kids, I think every Tuesday. And then she came to me and was like, Ethel said, hey, I'm gonna be closing the park down. I just can't keep it open. Would you be interested in buying the park? And I was like, I don't have any money. It's like, I literally have $400 maybe, like if I sold a kidney. So, so she's like, okay. And then like a month later, she came back to me and she's like, what if I gave you the park? What if I want to see it stay open? What if I just gave you this park and you could pay me as you bring money in, if you ever bring money in, and if nothing ever happens, nothing ever happens. So she literally gave me the keys, gave me some vending machines, gave me a ton of ramps, and some wood, and that's how it got started. Yeah, like it started off slow and then it just started building, and I just would have students coming in that it was a youth center, really, if you think about it. I mean, we had the arcade, we had pool tables, we put in a half-court basketball hoop at one point. We just wanted students to have something to do in the area. And so there was like the regulars, and you probably heard from Aaron Maurer, but he lived there. Like literally his mom would bring him meals that I would heat up in the microwave. He lived there. Even you, Brad, a lot of people just were there all the time, the regulars that skated. But there was just people that came and hung out, had snacks after school, did homework, didn't do homework, watched people skate, and it just grew. We started having concerts. I would say in the early 2000s, being in a band was cool. Not so much these days, but we'd do shows. So Friday night, Saturday night, we'd have a show. I remember doing a Halloween show, and we had 300 kids lined up down the street to get into the show. And it was incredible. I just walked up, it was early, and I'm like, what is going on? And it was insane. It was a crazy night. But yeah, it was a safe place with caring adults around them to build community and just pour into them and help them. So yeah, it was more than a skate park. I enjoyed skateboarding. So for me, it was like something I enjoyed, but it just became more than that. And so it became kind of a second home to a lot of students over the years. I have this picture in my mind of, I won't say a name, but a student just like focusing a skateboard, like literally breaking a skateboard. And I had a parent come in and they were upset, there's a kid out there breaking a skateboard. And I made the comment like, it's better that board than your kid's face. Like that's an outlet for that student, and it's to me that's okay. We have a lot of students that hurt, and there's a lot going on in our community that people don't notice or don't want to notice. And so having a place for them to come, to have support, and to do something, an outlet to get energy out, maybe even anger, or just to have fun and be creative, like that's important. That's super important. It's missing. Sports do that, but not everybody plays a team sport. Skateboarding's great. You can just go do it by yourself. That's how I did it. I never skated with a lot of people. It's just something you can do and be creative. Anybody can do it, really. You know, I still talk with students all the time. They're adults now, they have kids that are skating. I think it meant a lot. I think it meant a lot. I hear a lot of people say, man, I wish kids now had a skate park. I wish they had a place to connect like we had. You know, and I feel that. You know, it's just been kind of something missing in our community for a long time. So I know it meant a lot. I mean, I see kids that have gone on to not only run skate parks around the United States. I know a former student went to run a van skate park in Colorado. Other students have got into snowboarding and different board sports all over. So I hear from them. I run into them different places. I meet their kids and they're skating now. So it's pretty cool. I mean, I definitely don't know that they would have gotten into it had it not been an option here. I think skating is a culture. I think that people connect and build a community, whether it's, you know, inline skating, skateboarding, scootering, biking. Like there's a community, there's support. And so those are important things for people to have. And a lot of students that connect with board sports and inline sports, they don't have that. They may not have that family structure. They don't have that growing up. And so, yeah, it gets a rap as being, oh, the kids in the black t-shirts smoking over there, you know, whatever. Like to me, I didn't see all that, you know, I just would see the person. And I think that's the way it should be. And so to me, I think it created community for those people, a place to interact and also feel like a sense of belonging. That's important. That's in everybody's development, you know, especially in teenagers. Yeah, you're not going to have a skating community in our Huron County. There's not good paved roads. I mean, let's just be real. There's not good cement. There's not good pavement. So therefore, the sport doesn't really flourish. It doesn't grow. So we have to have a local place for kids to come and skate in a safe manner. I mean, even like currently even what I'm sitting on, I wouldn't necessarily say is like the greatest. It's something. You know, it's like a rusty basketball hoop. It's there, but it's really not what the students deserve. Like kids deserve something great, you know, and people all over the U.S. have recognized that in every community just about except for Huron County. You know, I don't know why, but it just hasn't been embraced. And we're a coastal community. We have towns all along the lake. This is a beautiful spot right here, central of the county. You know, I think it's about time that people around here maybe invest and put a little support behind having a place for kids to safely do the sport. I mean, I know it's in the Olympics. Oh, now it's a sport. It's been a sport for a long time, but it just get recognized now and has like money behind it. But it's a great sport. I mean, my kids all skate. All three of my children have skated or scootered or done board sports. It's a great family activity. It's fun. And we've traveled and gone to many cool places, seen many things, met awesome people all over the place. So I can't think of a better sport to introduce in a small town. It's cool. I kind of grew up not really liking team sports and fitting in. I would take my board and go at night by myself and just skate in a parking lot. Even in college, I would do that. For me, it was an outlet and it was a way to be creative. And I met up with a few friends and built a little community growing up and skated. There was years where I didn't skate at all and I did other things and then I picked it back up. For me, I guess skateboard was just fun. Like I just really enjoyed it. Like I know my parents probably thought you're gonna go nowhere. I remember my dad saying like, well, what can you do with skateboarding? I'm like, I don't know, have fun. Like it's just fun. It's just absolutely fun just to cruise around and feel the movement. It's fun. It's flat out fun. It's a great hobby, you know? Yeah, I ultimately had to close the park because I had to like be a parent and like make some money. I never made a dime on the skate park. I actually lost money for 3 years. And thank goodness my wife supported me with her job. But it was awesome. I mean, just seeing kids feel like connected and a family, really it was a family. So for me, it was incredible. I'm so glad I had those 3 years. Like it was a blast. It means a lot to me. I actually wrote a book about it. I'm never gonna release it, but I like wrote down all my stories from there. So many stories. And there's so many things that people don't realize go on in our communities. But there's some cool things. So I don't know. I guess looking back on Bad Axe, like I'm so thankful to have had those 3 years. And I continued skating. I started building ramps and having mobile skate parks and doing that until my back gave out. You know, I did it as long as I could. just because I wanted to see it continue. And now we've got, you know, Tommy, Brad, we've got Maurer. These are 3 skate park kids that are continuing it on. So it's pretty cool to see them, you know, carrying on the torch and wanting to do it. Yeah, I think number one, it has to be free. You know, I had to charge because I had to pay my heat bill. It has to be free. Unless the skate park is free for kids, it's not, there's no point. Most kids in this county don't have the $5 to go into a place for the day. They just don't have it. It has to be free. And I think they deserve it. I honestly feel like they deserve a place. I'm not talking, like, to me, this is like a Band-Aid. Like what I'm sitting on right now is not a skate park in my mind. It's ramps. It's not a park. It's cool. It's cool that this is a start. This is a small start, but it's not a park. And people don't realize that. Like, I mean, in my mind, I'm gonna throw numbers out, but I see 500,000 as a starting place. Like, I see cement. I see something that would last a long time. I see something that people would travel to be a part of, you know. Really, if you built a really nice skate park and put some money into it, there would be people driving here, spending time here, vacationing here. It's not just for kids here, it's for the whole community. I would love to see that culture grow. I'd love for my son, Sam, to be able to go and skate there, you know? That'd be cool. I think skateboarding is just growing. It hasn't really even reached its peak. I think it's gonna grow. I think you're gonna see other board sports and other wheel sports grow. And so I think being a part of that and providing that for students and families to enjoy would be so cool. I don't know. I mean, I always wanted a park here. I remember at one point taking a van load of kids to City Hall to ask the city, probably 20 years ago. You were there, Brad. And we just were like, could we build a park? You know, we had a drawing, we had a vision, and nobody really got it. And I get it. It just wasn't a mainstream sport. But at this point in time, like, it's like we might be the last city to get a park, and we don't want to be the last city. Like, we want to be the city that builds something that is like to be proud of, that like people want to be a part of, and that'd be cool. That would be amazing. Full circle right there. I think our indoor park was really great for what we had. It was better than a lot of other indoor parks, and it was small. You can do a lot with a small space, so I think there's enough people around here to support it and get behind it. I think also it would be like a starting platform for growing the sport. And I think other sports require adult supervision and adult like organization to really maintain it. And when that goes away, the sport dies. This is a sport that's like skater started. It comes from the person and it doesn't die. Like, it just keeps going and multiplying out. So I'm not saying kids aren't going to pick up a ball and shoot, you know, but to play team sports, you really need that. You need that support structure. And it can be a team sport, but it really isn't. It's like, it's a great sport for kids, families, the community to get behind. I mean, just go to a skating competition and watch. It is so fun. It is so cool. Once you experience that and you see it, you want your community to experience that, you know? So I'd say to somebody out there that's thinking about putting some money behind this, I'm like, go for it. Like, other people have all over the world, like literally all over the world. Why not here, you know? I've been saying it for 20 years, like, well, why not here? It could be here. It'd be awesome.